It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games. Looking for music that lifts your spirit and fills your heart? Experience the powerful sound of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. Now streaming on all your favorite music platforms. Find the Tabernacle Choir on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Pandora. Let the music of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square inspire you today and every day. Whether you're at home, in the car, or on the go, enjoy the beauty of their world-renowned sound anytime. The Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square, streaming now.
Hey, it's 10 a.m. and this is Utah's best sports radio.
Say my name.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Let's wake up some neighbors, Timmy. How are you?
Waking up the neighbors. It's Friday, man. I don't know, I'm at a different level on Friday. The lights are a little less bright.
See, I like the mood lighting a little bit more in here.
No, I ain't gonna do that.
Oh no.
I'm just saying Friday changes my latitude. You know, I've fallen into that same trap as everybody else.
So, the grind.
The grind, not 9 to 5 anymore. 10 to 2, baby.
10 to 2, 4 and out the door.
And I love that with all my heart.
This has been a blast, by the way. Got a lot of good feedback.
Well, I'm grateful for that because
it's not about me, it's about you. Like, wow, we thought there was going to be a massive drop-off, and there was there for about 3 months, and then Timmy came in and saved it.
Well, stay tuned because, consistency's the ever the ever-moving target.
All right, so we got a fun show. It's Friday. We try to, whatever hair we have left, we try to let back. Although Coach is rocking a great head of hair.
I don't know. I'm kind of, I'm starting to show my age, some peaks and valleys.
If only you knew somebody who could help you out with that. Give you some advice.
Anybody got a hair guy?
Oh, man, I would. Okay, all right, I will be completely honest. Like, we used to joke about our guy, and he'd say, I want my faith in humanity restored. And then that usually meant somebody would give him something for free.
Usually.
That was that's back in the day when things are a little fast and loose. Now we're buttoned up around here. But I've never been the, hey, where's my faith in humanity? I need it restored. But you know what? If you are a hair clinic place and you need to advertise, I got you. Although I don't know if they can go the whole thing. Like, I think, they want the widow peaks or maybe the little back spot. But when I'm like, no, I want the full Monty, man. Let's go. I don't know if they can pull that off.
I didn't plan to tell this story today, but it's a beauty. And it's Friday, so
yes.
I'm going to tell it because it goes right hand in hand with the hair thing. Good buddy of mine in high school, his father was follically challenged, but we never really knew that because, he got that taken care of.
Did he get a piece or a weave?
No, he got a piece.
Okay.
This is back in the day of the piece. And so, they're in the summertime, he had a different accessory that would look as though he put a little sun in it, showed that the sun. So all year round, So we were going down to St. George to spring break, and we were going to take this kid's car. And his dad wanted to come out and make sure the car was in serviceable and workable condition to go to St. George from Utah County. So he walked out and, popped the hood and commenced to look over the hood.
Got caught.
And if you're streaming it, you'll be able to see this better. But basically imagine a guy standing over a hood and he drops his head. Well, the tape job in the back came undone. And so as he turned his head, it was hanging parallel or perpendicular. And then he would stand up and it would go back in place. And we were all over there just trying to, because if we laughed, it'd be awful.
Yes.
And spring break was on the line.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to
offend the guy.
Yeah, he's going to take away the car.
And that was our way there.
Yeah.
So it was one of the harder things to do, was to not laugh. But as he stood up and went down 4 or 5 times, it was like a movie scene. The wig, the hair just kept, and then back up.
Did you know beforehand that he was rocking the piece?
Yes, at that point we knew.
Yeah.
We knew at that point, but it was still startling to see it come undone like that.
Yeah. My dad flirted with that for a little bit. And it's
piece?
like, yeah. And it's like, when you get that, though, like the amount of work that goes into it, the juice isn't worth the squeeze on that.
No, I can't. And honestly, I haven't. I don't know. I feel bad because it's not necessarily something I've dealt with. But I just like the fact, like you just lean into it, dude.
I went high and tight last one. That's where I'm going now. I used to have like the Friar tuck sides. Now I'm just like, let's just.
I knew I used to love that look.
Yeah.
You could have been the Padres mascot. I mean,
That's
a good pull.
Yeah, that is a good pull. Better than like Bozo the Clown or something like that. But I was meeting with Keith Embray. He's now up at the University of Utah, does some great work for them in their athletic department. And he's like, "What's up, Friar Tuck?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, we got to go do something about this then."
No.
Yeah.
To the monastery barber.
Yeah. All right, okay, by the way, Tony Jones is going to join us coming up at 11:05. One of our favorites. I know you and TJ go way back. Have you had a chance to ever evaluate his game, though? Because he talks a big game on Twitter.
No, I will say he knows the game.
He knows the game very well.
Love talking the game with him. I've never had the occasion of being in the 24-hour fitness or wherever he balls out. I've heard, the guy's got game. I'm certainly not going to discredit it without having seen it. I do know that I got to know him from a distance, and I love the guy. He's he does a great job of everything he does, so it'll be fun to have him on.
And I love when he gets angry on Twitter. Like, that dude fights anybody on Twitter.
He does not back down.
No. Also, let's see here. We got Randy Bennett. How about that? The new coach of Arizona State on the show today at 12:05.
Yeah, I hadn't heard from him in a bit, with the health issue, and so we got off the show yesterday up there at Minky, which was, gosh dang, how great was that?
Oh, that was fun.
Those people are great. Had such a good time, and it looked like they sold a lot of blankets too, from my vantage point. There were a lot of our listeners that came in. But I was driving home. I called and just to check on Coach, and he didn't know because he's been down and been dealing with a few things. So I told him about the show. I said, I finally got that show with that legendary broadcaster out of the state of Utah. One Scott Garrard, and he was like, "No way, you got Garrard."
Oh, okay. You mean out of the state of Idaho? Yeah.
Well,
he's Idaho,
but his broadcasting award was here.
Yeah.
This is true.
He wasn't knocking anything dead in Declo.
No.
Well, from a broadcasting perspective.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just said, "Hey, you need to come on the show sometime," and he said, "Well, you got one tomorrow?" I said, yeah. He said, all right, I'll come on tomorrow.
There we go. I love it. Do you think that he knows that he was a figure of somewhat of some angst here in the state of Utah? Like, I think BYU fans really enjoyed not liking Randy Bennett. And now that they get to go against him again in the Big 12, I think there's a little bit of you love to hate that guy.
Yeah, I want to ask him about it.
Yeah.
Actually, that's something I want to ask him about because, yeah, people do not like him. Most people that know I'm friends with him are like, oh, what? But again, it's the difference between being kind of in the game for a long time and having been a fan of the game for a long time. There's just more relationships inside that it doesn't matter what logo you wear.
Yeah.
Right.
Stu Morrill had an assistant, and he did some color commentating with me on the radio, Lance Beckert.
Yeah, I know Lance really well.
And Lance swears by Randy Bennett. Says he's one of the best dudes on the planet. And it's funny because you have this image of your mind on who a guy is based on how he acts on the sideline or the reputation he gets. And then I hear you say, oh, he's an awesome dude. And then Lance says, oh, he's a great guy. And it's like, well, wait a minute. That doesn't go along with the narrative that's out there. But
yeah, it's just I think he's been so good.
Yeah.
His time at St. Mary's, he won 589 games. Inherited a program much like Steve Cleveland at BYU. They'd only won a game prior to him getting there. So just an amazing story, amazing guy, and he's going home, which is cool. He's going back to Arizona. It's where he grew up. So, yeah, we'll get in and ask him some cool questions. And if anybody has any questions that aren't, hate-filled, you can tweet them at us, and we'll ask those too.
Yeah, there you go. Again, keep them clean, and we'll ask. Also, the great Craig Bullerjack's going to stop by, not just on the phone. No, he's going to actually come in studio and hang out with us. Coming up at 105.
Man, the word must be getting out.
Word's
right?
getting out. This is where you want to be.
It's good.
Where you want to hang out. So let's get to it. Starting a lineup right now, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to kick off the show with the biggest headlines of the day. This is your starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
So earlier this morning, I was on with DJ, and we were talking about the BYU-Utah game and the Vegas tournament that's the Players Era tournament. We hit on a bunch of topics, and then he said, what are you and Tim going to talk about? And I was thinking about this last night, and I thought I'd throw it out there with DJ, and of course then DJ owns it and then puts it out on Twitter. I'm just kidding.
DJ, man, he's looking for a scoop.
Yeah. No. Look, he took ownership of that and ran with it. All right. So I told him that I thought if we were to set the number at total games needed for the Oklahoma City Thunder that they will play this offseason, I think we all agree that they're probably going to win an NBA title. And I took it a step further. I say not only will they win an NBA title, they'll do it in less than 20 games. And I set the line at 19.5. And I'm taking the under. DJ took the over. Amount of games that Oklahoma City will play in this postseason en route to an NBA title.
So they've played 4. I think this is going to be more than 4 here. I think we're going to go gentlemen, even though the Lakers looked crappy last night. These series ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And going to one place or the other. We saw it with Minnesota in game 2. It's like they felt like they'd got done what they needed to. So I think that first series 4, this series
they're already up 2-0.
They're up 2-0. That's going to go 5.
Okay.
And then I see them having to go. I assume it's going to be the Spurs. I see it going at least 6. And then I believe that even the Knicks could push them to 5 or 6.
So you're going way over. All right. So I think they will sweep the Lakers. I think that they will need 2 against San Antonio and then 1 in the NBA Finals. So that's my 3.
So you're going to be that's
taking my under. That's right at 19.
It. No, that's good. I mean, and you know what? It could totally happen.
Oh yeah.
I just think I'm watching them play, and last night it was. They don't typically play with their food, but I felt like last night they kind of did.
Yeah, they did.
And we got to get to JJ Redick and the complaining. We'll get there, I know, but the bottom line is they dispatched them very quickly when they needed to. I just feel like the Spurs are going to be a little bit tougher challenge, and they've shown that this season. And then you get to the finals, and if it's New York or Detroit, I mean, you kind of can see how Detroit could bully and cause some problems, but we'll see. I'm glad you took the other side. I'm glad we actually disagree on something for once.
I know. Usually you and I are spot on this, but I think that. And again, last night you could say, well, it was a close game, but I took that as they were bored. Like they looked and played bored in that game. And, that might work in your favor where they don't necessarily care. But I also think that the fact that they won that game in a game they didn't play particularly well and they got under the skin of the Lakers, I think the Lakers mentally are just in a bad place. When you've got them circling up against the officials at midcourt, and you got Austin Reeves losing his mind. Now, yeah, was it a bad call on the 3? Yeah, absolutely. But still, it's in their head now.
Well, the clip of LeBron standing behind Austin nodding that's already going to be out there, right? Because as someone stands there, what do you say?
Go get him.
I bet he went over to Austin. He's like, hey, I can't do it because of my, status in the league, but can you go grab the officials and circle them up and just tell them that I'm not happy?
How many times would officials even do that, though?
I've never seen them stop.
Usually those guys are off the court immediately.
Got their satin jacket, and they're bolting for the exits. I know because I chased one time. Not in the NBA, but in high school.
Not in college either.
Not in college. No, that wouldn't have lasted. High school, chased the guy all the way to the door. You can read about it in the Deseret News. I think Amy Donaldson wrote the article.
Oh, Amy got you, huh?
No, but rightfully so. I was 100% out of line.
Yeah.
Just a little caught up in the moment.
Hey, you know what? It happens to the best of us. Like, I almost got thrown out of my kid's flag football game once, and I was the coach. And this little pimple-faced dork, young man, was
Jeez, man.
That's a hold, mister.
Exactly.
He got him by the T-shirt.
Give those kids a break. Come on.
An inadvertent whistle cost us a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I am saying rec league, but high school is no different.
And I was very, very upset. And so I expressed my displeasure.
You sent him a terse email?
We had a terse conversation about needing to know the rules, the basic rules of the sport, and that he had no knowledge of that. And I expressed that in a way that may have been a bit inflammatory. And he said, sir, I appreciate your feedback, but I'm going to ask you to leave if you say one more thing.
Hey, son, if you'd like to learn the rules, how about you listen from 10 to 2?
Yes.
We'll teach you.
The perfect comeback would have been like, all right, well, you need to trim your eyebrows and pop that white head on your left cheek. And that would have really got him.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go personal on the referees, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, so you know that officials are human, though, and I wonder if the fact that you've got some stars. So you got Boston complaining, you got Donovan Mitchell complaining, now you got the Lakers. Those are three big names and two big franchises that are now really cranky at the officials. I wonder if this leads to anything.
I can't imagine. Honestly, to me, if you just go back, it's almost every couple of years, like rinse and repeat, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a cycle. And when a team loses a game, I mean, J.J. Redick, he might have got on there and said one of the most inane things I've ever heard in my life, which we're going to use the sound. Yeah. You can decide when we use it.
Yeah, let's go to it. Here he is after that game last night, J.J. Redick.
Of any star player I've ever seen. I mean, I've been with him 2 years now. Again, the smaller guys, because they can be theatric, they typically draw more fouls, and the bigger players that are, built like LeBron, it's hard for them. But he gets clobbered, and he got clobbered again tonight a bunch, and that's not like a new thing. That's not specific to this crew or this series. He gets fouled a lot. That doesn't happen. I mean, guy gets hit on the head more than any player I've seen on drives, and it rarely gets called. Yeah, I mean, I sarcastically said the other day they were the most disruptive team without fouling. I mean, they have a few guys that foul on every possession, and all the good defenses do. SGA gets like I don't even know, a touch foul, I guess, on a drive. There was a stretch where 4 straight possessions, our guys got absolutely clobbered, trying to make an entry pass to Jackson, and Jalen Williams is grabbing his jersey with both arms. That's a turn. They're hard enough to play. They're hard enough to play. You've got to be able to just call it if they foul, and they do foul.
Been there. I've been there. I know exactly how he feels.
That's got to be 6 figures, right? That's got to be.
Oh, he pushed it.
The worst whistle in history.
LeBron has the worst whistle of any star player I've ever seen.
Okay, well, look, can we just stop there? That's when he should have been said. Okay, that's enough.
Sit down.
Sit down. You've said enough. Nobody believes anything now.
You lost all credibility on that one.
I mean, LeBron, he doesn't even have to get hit to get if you're in the vicinity. And I get it. Like as a referee, you've got to determine who's forcing the contact. In a lot of cases, LeBron's in a bad way, and he just kind of has to, put himself more into the defender. And so the referees aren't going to call that. It's the stuff, obviously, the referees are looking for where you're in the NBA, where you're actually affecting the shot, where you're actually hitting the arm, but there is no question there's a star hierarchy in the NBA for calls. I feel like
Phil Jackson is offended by what
I
he
feel
just did.
I feel LeBron's done just fine.
I think, when he looks back on his career, I think he's been treated somewhat fairly.
I mean, at least Phil
officials.
didn't say that Michael. He never. Can't imagine he'd ever say that. Maybe he did, but that was absurd.
He worked the refs better than anybody, but I don't think he ever said anything like the worst whistle for a superstar.
And
come on, really?
Well, Phil was all about timing too. Like Phil wouldn't go off immediately after a game. He would go before the next game, like the pregame of the next, when that media availability would hit the day before a game, he'd be like, you know what? If they let them do this and this and this, we're going to get blown out in this game. If they allow them to do this, like he was essentially telling everybody, watch for this. And if this happens, then we're going to lose the game. And so it got every fan, every media guy zeroed in on that exact thing. And the officials were like, well, crap, we kind of have to call it now. Like, that's what you don't – I don't remember Phil Jackson ever getting fined once because he was smart with his timing of it. If you just go off after a game, yeah, get ready. You're going to be dropping some significant dollars to the NBA charity of choice.
Well, and all you have to do is watch all of the playoff games. I said this the other day, but and it happens in college too, happens in high school. But when you go up and get into the playoffs, the referees actually want to kind of become less involved. And so in theory, I think they all just they let more go on. And so some of that physicality, I see that in the regular season, though, where guys are grabbing jerseys or locking arms so what is happening is not any different. And I think the ultimate issue is that Oklahoma City is just that much better than most teams. And, this is the only way to try to commiserate about it is to circle the officials up or go after somebody like that after the game.
I've had coaches tell me in regards specifically to San Diego State, and I think Oklahoma City is kind of in the same vein, is they will foul on every possession, and their thought is they're not going to blow a whistle on every possession. So we're just going to keep mugging. When you play Oklahoma City, that's what you're going to get. Now, the Shea thing, I understand on the other end can be obnoxious, but there are some teams out there you just know that's their MO. They are going to mug you, and it's the playoffs. Officials don't like calling those whistles, and so you better be prepared for a lot of physicality in these games, especially against them.
Well, that's what I think playoffs mean.
Yeah.
It's just an uptick in physicality, certainly in competition, but they also let it go. And I was on the wrong end of that in a high school championship game one year. We were honestly, I think why we were such a good regular season team at BYU in the Mountain West Conference particularly was because we had multiple days in between games. But then you get down to the tournament, and that's where depth and strength and, some of the things that we didn't necessarily have as much of, skill becomes a little less, and more of that physicality and toughness is more of how you win those conference tournaments.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, so throughout the show today, I know that you want to, and I respect what you're doing here, because you want to just avoid the situation coming up on Sunday as much as possible. You don't want to bring too much attention to it.
I'm fine talking about it, but I just think just like we talk about, what we just did. We don't gotta feel like it's on us to get this done. We just gotta set the stage. But I will say I love who they're sending out there.
Yeah,
it goes perfectly in line with, because it's like he came in last year and he helped finish off the culture piece of this. He really did. Him getting all those guys to go with him. So Keontae going back, when I saw that, I'm not saying good vibes, any of that. That makes sense.
Lloyd and I were thinking, though, there is a feature on the KSL Sports app, and it's called voicemail, or I don't know, it's in the bottom of Open mic. All you got to do is hit that button, and it will leave a message on the app, and it gets sent to Lloyd. Lloyd will then trim it up, and we will play it on the air. It is voicemail. Okay. So there's a function. You download the KSL Sports app, go to whatever app store you go to, and download that bad boy. And then at the very bottom is a feature that'll say voicemail. You're going to click on that, and it will allow you to send a message over your phone, and it will go right to Lloyd. Lloyd will then make sure that you don't swear or say something inappropriate, and then we will play them. The topic is, what are you willing to do or give up if the Jazz get a top 3 pick? Should we go just number 1? Make it really extreme?
Yes.
Okay. What are you willing to do?
Because I think there is a certain player that fans would really like to see.
What are you willing to do or give up to ensure that the Jazz get a number 1 pick? I mean, and again, keep it within reason here, because you get vulgar, we're not going to play it. But, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to give up to make sure that the Jazz get that number 1 pick? 1029. Again, that's available for you on the KSL Sports app. Just download that bad boy, hit the voicemail function, leave Lloyd a message. It's all right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right. By the way, I will not stand for any disrespect to Paula Abdul on this show.
Former Laker dancer.
Laker dancer.
So very appropriate.
Tremendous singer. And people only remember Paula Abdul as the kids, and even the kids probably don't even remember this now, it was so long ago, as the woman that couldn't string 3 sentences together on American Idol. Okay, that time had taken a bit of a toll there. But if you go late 80s, Paula Abdul, remember that video where she was dancing with like the cartoon?
Yep.
Awesome.
Straight up now, tell me.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So
that song, actually, I was in the midst of my service in the
old field?
In the old field. Fielder's Choice.
Yes.
And I was in Boston. I remember Lowell, Massachusetts, just a random day. And I think that song came out before I left. So it was just one of those rays of hope out there. I was out street contacting in the middle of this, and this car comes by, and it's a yellow light, and then it turns red, and they're blasting that tune. So I got about 1 minute and 25 seconds of that song.
Oh, that's what music's like.
I was kind of,
Yeah.
I'm not taking surveys for a minute. I'm going to sit here and sway to this. And then they took off, and then I got back to it.
And then it's like, all right, let's go listen to some Motab. All right. I've got the lineup. Now, we know Keontae George is going to be there for the Utah Jazz. But you got some interesting names that are going to be representing their teams. John Wall will be representing the Wizards in the draft lottery. How about this? Kansas Jayhawk star Nick Collison for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Alonzo Mourning will be out there for the Miami Heat. This is one that I have a hard time because I remember him as a player. I remember as a college player. I think you probably may have seen him at Utah, but Tayshaun Prince when he was at Kentucky.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep. He's with the Memphis Grizzlies. Oh, yeah.
The wingspan.
TJ McConnell for the Pacers.
I love that selection.
You ready for a real throwback? Rolando Blackman for the Mavs. Tony Kukoc for the Bulls. Vince Carter. Now, what team do you associate Vince with the most? I go Toronto. He's there for the Brooklyn Nets. And I guess why is Vince Carter? He's Toronto. I mean, you remember the
north of the border.
Yeah, went on the slam dunk competition, rocking the Pacers or the Raptors jersey.
Donovan Mitchell wore his jersey when he did the dunk contest.
Yes,
it was a Toronto
jersey.
That's
right.
And then for Charlotte, Con Knippel will be representing Charlotte. Should have been Rookie of the Year. And then you got a bunch of administrators. Sacramento will bring their general manager. Milwaukee, the Bucks will bring the owner's daughter again. All of you, keep your minds out of the gutter on Twitter. It was a really ugly situation last time she was there. Larry Harris for the Golden State Warriors. Don't really care who that is. But yeah, you've got a few general managers, a couple owners, and then a lot of players and former players.
That's a solid crew.
That is.
I mean, you throw Mourning out there. Rolando Blackman was a starting shooting guard in '85 when I moved to Texas. So Brad Davis was at the point. Derek Harper was there. Man, those were the days.
Now, you also have a crew that will be representing individual teams inside the lottery ballroom, the drawing room, as they call it. And a bunch of people you don't know, nor do you care about, owners, general managers there. But representing the Utah Jazz will be Austin Ainge. So Austin will be in the room when it happens, and then you'll have Keontae George at the presentation. I wonder if Austin will give Keontae a heads up, like, "Hey, man, don't look disappointed out there. It's not going to go our way."
They're going to have like baseball signals if they get the first.
Yeah.
It's two swipes to the arm and a touch to the forehead, then chin, then shoulder. I mean, that's where they lost me.
Yeah.
Just stop there. But the guy can. No, the indicator is the cheek. Remember? I was like, I can't follow you. I'm all the way across the field.
I just like the fastball, just like
exactly
one finger fastball. Let's go. All right, so the lottery coming up on Sunday. It'll be around 1 o'clock. That's when we will be live on the station. So if you hear from a bunch of us, that's going to be good news. If you don't hear from any of us, that's bad news. So you've got.
If you only hear from Ben and Chandler Holt, then Ben Anderson and Chandler Holt,
and Ben Anderson,
it didn't go well.
They're going to be hosting it, and if it only goes an hour and it's only those two, it's bad news. However, if the Jazz are in the top 3, then I'm going to hop on. Then everybody's going to hop on. You'll get a phone call. Everybody's going to contribute. We'll be on the air for a couple hours.
Well, I will be waiting, and just like anything, right? You can only control what you can control. I like who the Jazz are sending back there. I think Keontae's earned that with his dedication, commitment, and the way that he got everybody on the same page this last year. And then I love that Austin's going too. I mean, he's been back there before, but not with the Jazz. So it's a new, fresh, let's go one more attempt here to the cage.
Yeah.
See if we can get a hit.
And by the way, you should enjoy this, Jazz fans. This is going to be the last time you're really going to be emotionally involved in the lottery because the Jazz will not be there next year.
No, there's no way. And it's interesting. I talked to people, David Locke, who couldn't join us yesterday because of some of the issues that we had with the delays and whatever. David's a little bit more, reserved about saying they're going to go make the playoffs. And he makes a good point. Do things have to go right? I mean, the right guys have to be healthy.
Yes.
And there are still things within this summer. The Kessler deal's got to get figured out, and we'll see how this draft pick goes. But if everything is as we think it is right now, and you add a piece, say a top 6, 7 piece, the Jazz will be in the playoffs next year. And I believe not just the play-in.
Yeah.
I think they'll be clearly in and able to go then do what the Mammoth did this year and try to win that first round and see if you can start building, next year.
It's that simple. Again, there's a lot of what ifs here. What else you add in free agency? What else you can pull the trigger on in trades? But assuming Kessler comes back and you add a rotational piece in the draft, at bare minimum, the Jazz will be a playoff team next year. And you will not have to worry about lottery balls. You're not going to have to worry about any of that nonsense ever again, or at least for the foreseeable future.
And in a day and age where the pieces of your team, the individual pieces can be moved around, used. I mean, complete teams like Oklahoma City, that's the way to build. And these last few years to give Flip an opportunity with all those minutes to do what he did. And I think he is a bona fide guy that can give people problem off the bench. Bryce Sensabaugh, man, there's another piece, another guy. If you need shooting and you put him in the game, and this year he showed. I mean, he took a couple charges. He was more active defensively. He took that assignment. Everybody's got to continue to up that. But in terms of, the top line guys, and we always talk about the rotational guys, and certainly now it's going to be great because there's so much competent, tested within the couple seasons, talent that now can battle against each other, and that's where the cream rises to the top. So it could be really amazing because the Jazz have the positional size to go attack other teams in ways that they haven't been able to do in the past, and then to be able to have individual pieces, a Flip off the bench, Sensabaugh, Isaiah Collier. And it's going to be interesting to see who stays on the island, and who gets moved off. There's a lot of fine tuning, obviously, at this point.
You ever a Survivor guy? You ever watch that?
I did early on,
same.
one of the first couple, but then
I was done with it. So I look at it, and this is a very Danny Ainge way of looking at things because Danny tries to take the emotion out of it, and he looks at team building. And, Danny once said, hey, look, if I was a general manager of the Celtics, I'd look at moving Larry Bird right now to get, Like I don't want to say he's cold-blooded, but he's calculated in how he approaches things. Bryce Sensabaugh, Kyle Filipowski, even Cody Williams to a certain extent. These guys that were able to get time last year and showcase their abilities, yes, they could be a part of next year's team and be better for it, but you also showcase their ability to help facilitate trades. And so there's a lot of tape on these guys doing good things in some big minutes. They're like, okay, we need that one extra player to pull off to finish off this trade. You saw what Sensabaugh did. He can be a big-time scorer. You saw the versatility of Filipowski. You can play the 5-4. He's all over the floor. You can do all kinds of things with him. And that in itself can be beneficial to the Jazz as they're continuing to build this team.
Yeah, that's why these years were pivotal.
Yeah.
You don't even know it going through it, but that's kind of some of the best things in life. You think about raising kids. I mean, I've got my grandkids over, twins, and my grandson right now. I've forgotten. I've been so far removed from having young kids. I mean, we've been on the run straight for a couple of days, but you make it through that.
Yeah.
But think about all the valuable things that happen in that time. Much like I'm telling you, this was a painful season for Jazz fans, and we talked about many that said, I'm done with that, whatever. I will still admit or still concur that when the Jazz get relevant and start making their runs again, the same people that are saying that will be there.
They'll be back.
Because, you can't take that away from Utah people support Utah people. So we are on the front end with the Jazz of something really, really fun. And Ryan's come out and said it. He's not afraid to say it. You want to win a championship and you can't tiptoe. You cannot tiptoe into the pool. You have to jump in. And the two teams in the West, at least right now, that are the really big factors in the West and will be going forward, OKC and San Antonio, the Jazz have built their roster size-wise to be able to compete with them in day one.
The first time I did a sit-down interview with Ryan, it was before the Gobert trade. It was before the Donovan Mitchell trade. Hans and I sat down with him. It was the first MMA event. Dana White was in town. They were announcing they were bringing MMA back to Utah. And Ryan sat down, and he said a line that I will never forget because it is proven to be very, very true. He goes, "We are willing to endure any amount of pain to bring a title to Salt Lake City." And essentially, he told everybody, look, it's not going to be fun for a few years. This is going to be rough. It's going to be painful, but we're not doing it to be a 45-win team. We're doing it to be a 60-win team and a team that brings a trophy down a parade down State Street. That's what's important to him. And so, yeah, while this has not been fun or enjoyable for you as a fan, for the players, for the coaches, for the front office, there is a method to what they're trying to do, and hopefully you see the results of that coming up on Sunday.
And what is awesome about this, Scotty, to me is they don't have to get the number. I mean,
no.
There are so many scenarios, but they put themselves in a position because of the way they've managed the last 4 years, where in some cases you get to this and it's like, man, we have got to, and obviously you want to hit because you're drafting that high, but the Jazz, what they've shown me is they hit on picks. Like this group, Zanuck, Ainge, the Ainges, obviously, Will Hardy's a huge part of it. But they hit, and the reason they hit is because they're certain. They stack good decisions. But then on top of that, these guys do such a great job of taking a guy where he is and moving him forward. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've seen in the last 4 years. It's been overwhelming. I asked the question yesterday about development to somebody we had on in my mind, but that's what, as a coach, stood out to me because I go early and I watch these guys and I watch their workout protocol and I watch the things that, great coaches have you work on your weaknesses. And so part of your workout is making shots and doing the things you can do, and then you really get into the other stuff. But you give that every single day, and that's why these guys have gotten better. And so I'm thrilled about the development piece in accord also with the roster. Because even, a guy like Lauri Markkanen, I felt like he got better defensively this year.
Yep.
Right? So I'm not just talking about the young guys acclimating to the game. I feel like we saw it with John Collins. He was a 29% three-point shooter the year before he came to the Jazz. His first year in Utah, he shot 43 or 40. And I think next year everybody's talking about Jaren Jackson's rebounding. I will just say, I sit back and watch that number from I have a feeling that's going to go up because he's going to get a coach to go up. But you've also got Walker Kessler gobbling a bunch, hopefully, as well. He's like the Hoover.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, 1049, what you may have missed coming up. Also, we got a busy show. This is going to be a fun one today at 11:05. Tony Jones will join us. Randy Bennett, new head coach at Arizona State. Good friend of coaches will join us at 12:05. And then Craig Bullerjack in studio at 1 right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Best radio in Utah is right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Give up energy drinks for the next couple days, and if they get that number 1 pick, I'll give them up forever.
All right, there you go. Our first voicemail, Jake just sent in a voicemail via the KSL Sports app. If the Jazz get the number 1 pick, Jake is giving up energy drinks, not for a week, not for a month, forever. No more energy. He's going cold turkey.
How about you, Scotty? How about you? Would you give it up?
Hide the rock
you give
star.
up your drink?
This is my answer to that right there.
You wouldn't do that
To get a number 1 pick?
Yeah, to get the number 1 overall pick. Scotty, come on.
Whoa.
Come on, Scotty.
Whoa.
And just like the Jazz, I mean, there would be a little period of pain, a lot of pain. You have headaches.
You'll get used to it, though.
That would be like me trying to quit Diet Coke.
Okay. I'm not even going to bring that up to you.
I'm starting to put I put the 12-pack in I'm drinking one a day.
Yeah.
Yowza.
Well, we had people on the YouTube stream that were keeping track of your Diet Coke consumption yesterday.
I crushed 3.
Yeah. They're like, wait a minute, he went through 2 bottles and now he's on a can.
Yeah, this guy's got to have. I mean, that's my. I guess that's my fuel, man.
Look, dude, I know I need to get off. Okay, fine. If the Jazz get the number 1 draft pick, I will never drink another sugar-free original Rockstar ever again.
I'm going to say it.
I've got to read in between some lines here, I feel like.
I think he
got to
left
read the fine print right now.
Yeah, that's like at the end of the ad when it's like, product does 4
hours or longer, see a doctor.
He's totally lying to you. If your headache persists for longer than 4 hours, consult
All right, fine.
an optometrist.
All right, mark it down, Lloyd. Record this. Jake, I am with you. If the Jazz get the number 1 overall pick, see these and everything like it, energy drinks, I'm done. Not another one.
I love the commitment you just made. Thank you.
Well, I'm actually new here, so I don't have an open container because I'm trying to live by the rules. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not open. You've got that in your mug.
That was just a
you
sound.
dumped it in your mug.
That was just a sound effect of me.
No, you had the mug.
Yeah.
You've got a lid on that thing. I will do the same. I would be in a world.
No. Don't do Diet Coke.
No, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll quit.
Diet Coke?
I will quit.
No,
Diet
you
Coke.
won't.
I will. No, I will.
Because I won't do that with Coke Zero.
I'll quit Diet Coke. I'll just start drinking like some. I'll find a replacement. But that's the best thing I can give you.
Wow. I wasn't even trying to persuade you into something.
No,
like that.
I felt compelled to do my part.
Do you feel?
That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not happy about it. I'm sad about it.
Like, okay, when you say compelled, do you feel like the other word for that is manipulated by Lloyd?
No, I do not feel manipulated by Lloyd. Lloyd, you know what? Since I've been here, the first couple of days were it's like anything, trying to figure it out. But I'll tell you what, he's been a champ.
Yeah.
This guy's a champ.
He tried to haze you those first couple of days.
Yeah,
no hazing. There's no hazing.
I think you just wanted to, draw a line in the sand and say, hey, you know what? There's film class Lloyd, and then there's program director Lloyd, and it's a different person we're dealing with here.
If there's a way to get security footage of me wandering that parking facility,
I didn't haze you on that. That wasn't me. That was HR hazing you.
Okay, I know. I'm just saying, but that would be, and if you added some song really sad, like Everybody Hurts from REM, and I'm just walking up to each and every door and pulling on it. When the day is long in the night.
Oh, it's awesome. All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Gather around the radio, folks, because this man has got opinions. He's got thoughts, and he's always willing to share, and he doesn't care who he offends, who he has to fight with on Twitter. He'll go at a drop of a hat. It is the great Tony Jones from The Athletic. He will join us next. We'll chat all things NBA with him. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good night's sleep.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.